Once it hit, 10:30, 11, midnight, 1, 2, you want to go to bed. But the one thing I keep kind of going back to is that, we used to joke about it, but it's true, is every trial lawyer has the will to win, but not every trial lawyer has the will to prepare. And every time I reminded myself of that, we take care of our clients and we treat them like they're, like their family, basically. We represent them as if they're one of our family members. And so that's ultimately why, we push through and why we do what we do.
Ask me about my week. I know you're overly concerned about it. Igor, how's your week?
Well, hold on, Dylan. You still got about 7 minutes left.
I'm good.
Well, Igor.
No one cares.
Thanks, bro. Sweet PF Flyers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as you can see, we're back here for another weekly recap without the often imitated but never duplicated Cam Cornish. Cam, we miss you. Hopefully you're back here next week, but don't come back too soon. As we all know, I'm always holding it down here. But we're back here for another weekly recap. Let's get right down to it. Dylan Gonzalez in the Nut Huggers. What have you been up to this week?
Well, been catching up on a bunch of stuff. Had a real big mediation a couple weeks ago, and frankly, everything else kind of took a back seat until that was wrapped up. And so for really the last 10 days, just been kind of playing catch up to, a bunch of emails, negotiating some cases with some adjusters, paying out clients, and getting a lot of the administrative stuff, back in line.
Outside of the firm, though, have you do anything last week?
Yeah, I actually did. I might have a little picture to kind of share with you guys. So last Friday, or Thursday through Sunday, I went to this adult weekend warrior hockey camp. It feels pretty embarrassing to kind of say out loud, but it was actually a hell of a time, and it was really, really great fun. So it was 4 days of hockey, 12 hours in total, 2 days practices, 2 hours each. And it was really, really immersive. It really reminded me of just kind of playing ball way back in the day, because the coaches would sit you down, put you on video, look at, what you're doing and give you really good feedback and stuff. And it was at the Hockey Den, the Panthers Ice Den, which is up in Coral Springs.
Now at the end of the camp, were any awards handed out to any of the participants?
It's funny you should ask that, John.
Because, tell us more.
Because there was an award for the most improved player, and I'm sure John's got plenty of quips to make for here, because when you start off so poor, there's only one place to go, and that's up. I know that he was just waiting to
a large margin for improvement there.
But I did happen. So I just started skating literally 2.5 months ago. Had never really picked up a hockey stick before that, and these guys had given me the award for the most improved player at this camp. So that was pretty fun. I felt like a loser, but it was really a great time. And so that was the week before. But in terms of work and stuff like that, it was good. Had to get a handful of clients paid. Some of our business partners and co-counsels that we do a lot of work with had to get them paid. Go through a lot of that paperwork, the medical bills, medical records, all that type of stuff, to make sure that it's really tedious work. It really it's a big pain in the ass just to kind of look through it all, but it has to get done. And so that's really what I did. And that's pretty much it, John. Thank you very much for asking me about my week. I know you're overly concerned about it. Igor, how's your week?
Well, hold on, Dylan. You still got about 7 minutes left.
I'm good.
An unseasonably quick recap for Dylan this week.
Under 5 minutes.
Yeah, those 2 days really, left their mark.
No, so this week, John has a case going to trial potentially next week or the following week.
So that means Igor's
he brought the real hitter to handle the case. He's not getting the respect that he deserves with the defense, and so he asked me. He actually begged me, but I told him I wouldn't say this on camera. He begged me to try the case with him. And I had to agree. I felt bad. I felt really, really bad. It's not always that you get to see somebody understand that they don't have the skills to try a case, and they need you to.
I appreciate that.
Not just that. See somebody in such a vulnerable position.
Yeah, exactly. No. In all seriousness, we're trying this case. Probably in the next couple of weeks. It's a very good case. I've never tried a case this good, so I'm still kind of doubtful that it's going to go, because you don't try good cases usually, and so we'll see. But we're prepping it real good, so we spend a lot of time doing that, and then meeting with the clients, looking at all the legal shit, just the stuff that we have to do to get ready. It takes a lot of time. And then I had a mediation this week on a big case, and I showed up to a mediation to find out that the defense did not have all the medical bills. So I had 300 meds, they had 80. So in their defense, the guy on the other side was a pro, and he was instead of sitting here and waste everybody's time, let's just postpone this by a couple of weeks, get all the meds, and then we'll reevaluate the case. We'll make the phone calls that need to be made. We'll do all these things so that when we sit down again, we have proper money, basically. So that was good. I respect that. But
it's gonna be a hell of a move when they come back with $15,000 more.
Here you go, bro. We got you an extra 15. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. But that's also a very good case. So whatever happens. We'll be ready. It's fine. But that's pretty much what I've been up to. What have you been up to, John?
Well, Igor.
No one cares.
Thanks, bro. Sweet PF Flyers. You hit the sandlot.
Why are you always checking out what I wear, John?
Man, it's hard to ignore that.
I would agree
But
with you.
I mean, we agree on something here. But yeah, Igor kind of he kind of teed it up for me. But the last couple of weeks, I've really been all in on this case because the trial period starts on Monday. The judge pretty much said we're not going to go the first week. More likely to go either the second or the third week. But really, it's just been all in, doing everything that needed to be done. This week we got the video depo for trial of our expert done, which was went well. We also got the depo of the defense expert, which I'll have a story for you. Because undoubtedly, I'm sure one of our followers is opposing counsel. So I don't want to talk too much about what was learned during this deposition, but that'll be a story very soon. Beyond that, we've a lot of it's just the admin stuff, getting jury instructions done, getting all the trial filings, things that we need to get done and positioned. And we also, another thing, Dylan, I'll give a shout out to Dylan on this one. We had a reluctant independent witness that he really didn't want to come in, but Dylan, as he does, worked his magic outside the courtroom because the courtroom's not really his thing. It was great investigative paralegal work. I give Dylan all his props. Taylor, I think, might be who we had lunch with this week. I'm sure he's looking for somebody.
He did say he was looking for somebody.
You might be the guy, bro. I can put in a word for you, Taylor. If you're watching,
I really don't think CSU would be able to survive without me, to be honest.
But the one thing I'll say about obviously the nature of the beast here is that most cases resolve. So we don't get this close to trial a lot. When you do, it gets those juices flowing. It kind of brings you back. For me, it brings me back to the PE days where you're just kind of all in, just immersed in the case. And really, like last night, for example, Igor and I were with our clients all day, prepping them up for testimony. I come home, I eat dinner, and I was after dinner up until about 2 a.m. prepping this outline for the deposition of the defense's expert. And yeah, I mean, once it hit 10:30, 11, midnight, 1, 2, you want to go to bed. But the one thing I keep kind of going back to is that we used to joke about it, but it's true, is every trial lawyer has the will to win, but not every trial lawyer has the will to prepare. And every time I reminded myself of that, you're down to stay up that extra hour, that extra 2 hours to get things done. And at the end of the day, it goes back to kind of what we stand for as a firm, which is, we take care of our clients and we treat them like they're, like their family, basically. We represent them as if they're one of our family members. And so that's ultimately why, we push through and why we do what we do. But the good news is we're almost at the finish line in this case. We hope for a very good result and a good case with, solid clients who were really hurt. Yeah. So that's what I've been up to, and I imagine that is what I will continue to be up to next week and the week after until we get this thing to a verdict. So another great week, and here's to another one coming. So cheers, boys.
Cheers.
What's so fun?
With all that preparation, it's not so much about really wanting to do so good for the clients. It's just you trying to mask your fear. You're so afraid you can't really sleep.
Let me add that in. I do need to.
That's coming up in 10 days.
I do need to respond to what Igor said, which is I brought him in really to hey Igor, man, I need you to try this case with me, bro. He hasn't tried a case in a while, so I want him to feel like he still understands the courtroom. But I noticed last week when I looked at his calendar, it was pretty empty. And then I spoke to our scheduling assistant, who was like, hey John, I know that you're supposed to be trying this case with Igor, but for some reason you just told me to set a whole bunch of depots for the next 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, yeah, let me talk to him about that, because Igor has a history of saying, hey, bro, I can't try this case. I got depots, bro.
I'm going to be in Antarctica. I'm going to be in Antarctica, bro. I'm going on a special cruise.
That story just keeps growing and growing.
Bro, listen, all I know is it was a hell of a move. This was my favorite one. Igor, he's been ride or die forever, trial team, PD's office.
In years past.
Yeah, for sure. And then all of a sudden, we open up our law firm. We got a trial to try. I try a case, pick the jury by myself, and Igor's
fled the country. He was beyond
Canada.
The subpoena power.
Yeah, he was in Canada in the winter, okay? You're afraid of trial when you go to fucking Canada in the winter, all right? So, that's Igor's track record.
So
that's next level.
I got to set the story straight, I've let it go long enough. What happened was we had this case that we were going to try. Dylan actually showed up to try the case. We got called and it's calm down. We're going to try it. And then we were not number one. We were like number 5. So we're like, what the fuck are we doing here? whatever, we got reset. The time we got reset for, I had a pre-planned vacation to Canada, right?
In the winter.
In the winter. I like the winter.
You got records to confirm it was pre-planned?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Yeah, they hear it.
By the way, our client wasn't even present for this trial.
Yeah, I finally show.
I was there by myself.
It was back in the day when we were doing like towing cases. So it was like $100 case with an attorney fee, like plaintiff component. And so like I was like, fuck this. I'm not canceling my vacation
I'm gonna send
to
Dylan
try
to
a
do it.
towing case. He was here, you know. So, but yeah, that's what happened. But to John's point, actually, the last time I tried a case is the last time he tried a case.
Which was
Well, I did perform.
Albuquerque?
I did perform the last part of that case before it resolved.
this
So I've tried a
was this
case more recently.
2022 or
It was
2023?
August last year.
22, yeah, August of last year.
Okay. So then what he's really saying is that for all the shit he talks about me for being in civil ERU, I think the only attorney at the firm that has a 2023 trial is myself and Cam Cornish.
Did you guys swear a jury?
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, and we
what
actually, went into trial, bro.
happened? Oh, you went in. You got a verdict?
We did not
Yeah,
get
I
a
need a
verdict.
trial.
We got a stipulated
We
verdict.
we were doing so good. The other side decided to make us an offer we couldn't refuse. What can I say?
Oh man. Well, we've
it.
already cheersed once,
Yeah.
so I guess we should cheers once more now that we've destroyed each other's reputations once more.
I
So
guess we will.
fist pounds this
Yeah.
time. All right, boys, for real this time. See you next week.
All right, take care.